IBS gets diagnosed when a doctor does a colonoscopy. They stick the camera up your butt and they look around your colon and they look for inflammation. They look for ulcers. And if they don't see anything, the next thing they do, they think is, okay, maybe something in the small intestine is going on. So the camera can't make its way up into the small intestine, maybe a little way up here, but the way that they usually look at that is with an MRI or some sort of an X-ray machine to see if there's any inflammation going on in the small intestine. Other ways that they do this is with a capsule endoscopy, where you swallow a pill and that has a camera in it and it takes pictures of your whole entire digestive tract. So if they do those procedures and they don't see any inflammation or damages or changes anywhere in the intestines, then they just go, I don't know, I guess you have IBS. What I see causing the majority of IBS symptoms are either the gallbladder or the intestinal muscles. So the intestines are lined with muscles. They do the peristalsis to move the stool throughout the intestines so you can digest, absorb, and poop it out. The muscles do that. And if somebody is constipated, they usually have this attitude towards a conflict in their life of, what is something important to my survival that I want to hold on to and never let go? I usually see it to be money or a boyfriend or a girlfriend. And if it's more diarrhea related, they usually have this attitude of they're like angry and they're frustrated and they want to get rid of some crap. This is a bunch of crap. But if your stool is like green, yellow, and it has a bile, like just super stinky smell, then this is the gallbladder going in and out of overdrive due to a territorial anger conflict for men. And for women, it could be territorial anger or an identity conflict. The first step you want to take is you want to find the conflict that started the symptoms. What were some stressful things going on in your life when your symptoms started, when your IBS symptoms started? And try to find that, like force it. Because the mind's kind of lazy and it wants to conserve energy and it's going to avoid doing this work. It's going to go, no, nothing. But when you sit down with pen and paper and start to ask your brain these questions, it's amazing the things, like one person, their IBS started in college, and they're like, nothing ever stressful happened to me in college. Then they started using my workbook and it started to like free up their mind, and then one day the floodgates opened and it was like, I went through a bad breakup, my best friend moved away, there's a lot of stress in the family, my grandmother passed away. Lots of stressful things all happened in college. Out of those 4 stressful events, which one was the closest to your symptoms starting? And when they just making that connection reduced their IBS symptoms by 50%. It's this weird subconscious process. I wish I could explain it better, but essentially you experienced a traumatic event and your brain decided to put your gut into overdrive because it thought it was the best survival tool for the job. Now I have a free webinar where I go over this in much more detail. IBS, you kind of have to do some poking around to figure out like what's causing your symptoms. My webinar is a mini version of my 13-day protocol, and it will greatly help you. It is everything that I wish my GI doctor would have told me when I first started getting symptoms, and it took them just a year to give me a diagnosis.